where Manchester United is playing like a mid-table team, struggling against rival football teams, one man against all odds, having a fridge and a cotton ball in front of him, making saves after saves after saves, arguably the best goalkeeper in the world with fantastic goal distribution. Dean Henderson. Manchester United 2, Brighton 0. Let's go. Dog.
Oh my God, the jinxer is back at it. Now you're trying to jinx the only one good player we have in our team, is it?
Salam sejahtera and welcome to JomUnited. We are a Malaysian Manchester United fan channel. Yes, dengan bangganya Buatan Malaysia. If you are new to our channel, like usual, please like, share, subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so that you will be notified when we go live or when we release a new video.
Just like the Glazer, you have forgotten my ding dong, is it? I was ready with my cat-like reflexes, you know. But anyway, also please join our Telegram group. I think where we talk about all things United, good, bad, and the ugly. Of course, we keep anything that is a little bit racist or things out of it. The link is in the description below. So please join us and join our wonderful Telegram group.
Okay, guys, milk this moment, all right? Regardless, however we play it or whatever it is, it's 3 points in the bag. I'm happy. You should be happy. We are still in the running to fight for top 4. Yes, it sounds bad for Manchester United, but yes, we are in the running to fight for top 4. All right. So, Doc, what's your take on the game yesterday?
Overall, it wasn't the performance that I was expecting. I really expected us to really come out with all guns blazing, but I think, like you said, Dom, the key thing here was the 3 points. But they really kept us, with the squeaky bum time right till 96 minutes. I tell you, couldn't even finish off 10 men. Terrible. But like you said, 3 points was all that mattered yesterday.
Yeah, we always talk about first half FC, second half FC. Now there's a new red card FC. But we'll save it for later. Let's start with the positive first, all right? As much as possible, let's milk this to the maximum. Okay, guys, to the maximum, all right? Let's start with Cristiano Ronaldo. What a fantastic individual brilliance goal by Cristiano. But I don't care. I totally enjoy the goal. So what's your take on Cristiano Ronaldo? Before this, a lot of people, a lot of memes and whatnot, people... talking bad about Ronaldo, not CR7, is more like CR6.9, for example, she's the goat, but the wolf is feeding on the goat, all these kind of remarks and whatnot. So what do you feel about Ronaldo's goal yesterday? Is it something that it would trigger something positive moving forward, that we need more points and then we need more goals like this to actually keep us in the fight for top 4?
Right. Before I go into that, Dom, can I just mention one thing? And this will probably make Pijal terribly happy, how the win was secured. We went back to the double pivot, 4-2-3-1. We went back to individual brilliance. Shades of Ole, isn't it?
But anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Today, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I think it was a fantastic goal. He could have actually had a hat-trick yesterday. Those two headers from Bruno Fernandes crosses, one from the left, one from the right. I thought he should have buried it, and probably another day, right? Maybe if he was firing on with all guns blazing and full of confidence, those chances would be put away. Now, the goal itself, I think, fantastic. He just had that small opportunity, right, where he shifted and right to the corner, he wall up to the keeper, no chance. The keeper barely moved, actually. So that itself was great. He got into good positions. If only our fullbacks could cross like Bruno.
And then the cool part is the assist was from Bissouma, so possibly our incoming CDM, but Bissouma was fantastic yesterday, to say the least, right? So, usually people are saying that for Ronaldo, right, usually this is the point where he actually shows his true strength and whatnot. So, moving forward, apparently there's important games coming for Ronaldo, for Portugal and whatnot. So do you think that this is where he will actually pick up form and we will see more of this type of goals performance from Ronaldo? Or do you think that this is just a one-off kind of thing with how the whole squad is playing, do you think he has that mental strength to to spearhead forward?
I mean, he's one of the guys with with the best mental strength in our team now, definitely. And we've seen it throughout all these years he's been playing. That's why he's one of the greatest, like he and Messi. Of course, I still rate him higher, but you can see that difference in him. And I think it was really important that he got a goal before we go back into the Champions League knockout phases. I mean, we don't want him going in, still firing blanks and things like that. So this is good for his confidence, Dom. And I think he will be ready for the next round of the Champions League. And he's got his favorite opposition as well, right? Atletico.
Yeah, Atletico. Yeah, and then for the fans generally, actually, there's two camps. Like many other things in Manchester United, right? There's two camps: the in and the outs and whatnot, lah. So regardless, whatever it is, if Ronaldo performs, it will be good for United, lah. So as much as possible, we give our points, but then let's not like dwell too heavy into it and end up arguing among ourselves, lah. Right? So because end of the day, he's a United player.
Yeah, and probably just to add on, Dom, we know where his strengths are, especially now that he's changed his game to more of a centre forward game, right? The thing is, that's what we need: good crosses into the box for him to actually chase down. He just had to put in right areas, and that's what Bruno did with his two crosses. Just put in the right areas, and he was there to. And on another day, he would have buried those, definitely. Yeah, so that's what we need, and that's what we probably need from our wing backs as well. Something. Just put it in the right area for him to chase down. That's all we need.
Okay. Let's talk about the next positive thing from the game.
Is it Harry Maguire?
No. Let's talk about Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba's performance. Okay, the moment he came on the pitch, everything connected. All right, for myself, for what I saw, everything connected. Okay, some might argue again that he's playing for a move away from United, trying to impress some teams and whatnot. But for me, I don't care. I just want him to be the best Paul Pogba he can be, play for his favorite fan. Okay, so what do you think? I mean, being a guy with slight agenda against Paul Pogba, what do you think about his performance yesterday?
Actually, if you remember my comments in the group as well, right? I did ask for him to be brought on a bit earlier. Once they were down to 10 men, right, it would have been ideal to bring him in already. He's a guy that, he can create a lot of things, especially when he has a lot of space, when he's not closed down and things like that. So with the opposition down to 10 men, right, he had a field day, and I think that quick setup for Bruno in the last minute, right, that state of mind to quickly get the ball and put the ball down, not moving, pass it quickly, right, that free kick to Bruno and let Bruno go. That was actually very important, So good performance from Paul Pogba. I think since he's come back, he's been quite decent. But again, like in the previous games, probably faded off in the second half, like the rest of the team. But I mean, it augurs well. If he's playing well, there's more options in midfield and things like that. So definitely a good Pogba firing on all cylinders will be better for us, definitely.
Okay, we got a comment by Nabil. Pogba must start the next game. So would you start him in the next game, or would you bring him in as a super sub? Like what we did yesterday, maybe slightly earlier, but would you bring him as a sub, or would you start him right from the get-go? Because again, his fitness levels might not be there yet. He might not be able to go full 90. And what do you think, Doc?
Yeah, and that's probably the reason why Ralph rested him yesterday, because he's just back, right? And you want to keep him for probably the Leeds game and because it's away from home, right? And also the Atletico game. So that is why probably with the home game with Brighton, I think Ralph chose to rest him. Normally the home games, we're always on the front foot and things like that. I mean, let's not look at the performance yet. We'll go into it later. But yeah, so I would start him, definitely. I mean, he's been playing well since he came back. I think he should start now. And if McTominay is doing really doing a good job in defensive mid, Pogba would be a good player to have a little bit free role in midfield, more attacking than defensive. I think he would be beneficial. And he and Bruno can create the chances for both our wingers and our centre forward.
Actually, one thing that a lot of the United fans are talking about Paul Pogba, right? He's playing without any pressure or any chains or whatnot because he's moving away in the summer. So I'm expecting the best Paul Pogba we can see in the last 6 years? Is it 5 years, 6 years? However many years he's been here. So this will be the mean Paul Pogba, right? So, okay.
Yep. And Dom, I think yesterday we were defensively under pressure, right? Who any of the back four impressed you last night?
For me, to be honest, right, Lindelof. Seriously, Lindelof, right? He's doing things that Harry Maguire is trying to do, but he's doing it at a much more, precise level. Example, Harry Maguire likes to go forward. Okay, the idea of actually playing with someone like Varane is, so that the other centre back Harry Maguire can actually play higher up the field. But the problem with him is his judgment, his reading of the game is very, very poor. And every time he commits to a 50-50 challenge and whatnot, right, most of the time, 75%, 85% of the time, it backfires and it leaves our defense vulnerable. But for Victor Lindelof, right, what he actually did yesterday, I think it was fantastic. It's a shame that actually his house got broken into. So if it's not because of that, probably he would have how to say, cemented his spot over Harry Maguire. That's my humble opinion. So I'm actually really, really very, very impressed with Victor Lindelof. Harry Maguire, again, he didn't really do anything bad, but that is, I think, it's average. That is expected, being a centre back of Manchester United, and on top of that, the captain of Manchester United. So what do you think, Doc?
Yeah, I probably agree with you. Maguire, even when he goes forward, right, he's very limited. He cannot switch the play, and it's always just either looking to the left side to Luke Shaw, or if that option is not available, he just passes back to the other centre back. So very limited. I think yesterday Lindelof made some good forward runs. I mean, really, and these are the things that we used to see from Rio and all previously, right? They are able to carry the ball into the opposition half. I think one thing, and we've discussed this previously as well, especially when there was a talk about him becoming a defensive mid, right, where to replace the lack of defensive mids in our team. He has the ability to lob that long ball over the top, either to look to the wingers running through or the striker running through. And that's why sometimes when Rashford plays through the center, he has got that capability of delivering that ball over the top for Rashford to chase. So that is one advantage of Lindelof playing. I'm a bit critical previously of sometimes his strength when defending, but yeah, I mean, again, they look the better pairing as compared to Varane and Lindelof together. Varane looked at a better pairing, better than Maguire and Varane. Yeah, until his house was broken into. So let's see. In the next game, I think we will know which will be the chosen pair if Varane comes back and is fit to play, and then that will be the pair that goes into the Champions League game as well.
Okay, Dave Chong mentioned nobody can replace Maguire. Nobody. All right. Okay, we got a comment by Jamie Oliver. All right. Mate, please, I've been asking for a long time now. What do you think if he signed Dybala in summer? He worked well with Ronaldo. Is attacking midfielder next to Bruno. I think he would help a lot. Cheers. So maybe Doc, you want to take this on? What do you think? Dybala to Manchester United. We've been linked with him for like a couple of seasons ago. So do you think that he would be a good signing for us?
Yeah, we have. So let's look at Dybala alone, right? Dybala is actually quite a good player. He can play slightly just behind the front man, or he can play coming in from the wings. And he's got a wonderful left foot, and even in set pieces and free kicks and all, he's very good. But I'm not very sure about Jamie Oliver's comment there that he played very well with Ronaldo. I think there was some problem, and when Ronaldo started, there was a tendency for Dybala to be on the bench, if I'm not mistaken, right? But he'd be a very good player. It depends again on the incoming manager and what style they want to play. If it's going to be something that is really at pace with a really pacey front three, then Dybala may not be the one for you. He's slightly on the slower side as compared to some of the others, right? But very, very creative player, especially behind the front forward, playing slightly in the hole again, and then also wonderful finisher as well, and a wonderful left foot. So again, it depends how we want to play, who the manager is, and what is he looking for. But again, would he be one of your key signings? Because we know the area where we are looking to strengthen is probably in the center of midfield, probably in the center of defense or our wing back. So again, it may be not what we're looking for. I mean, we are sort of loaded with players up front. Maybe we might even need to look for a young striker, I think, next year, because
it's quite confirmed. It's quite confirmed that we are looking for a striker. So you're talking about budget, the money that Glazers is going to spend. I don't think they're going to fork out 300 mil or like the Newcastle owners and whatnot. So personally, for me, I think I would again take advantage of Ralph Rangnick's ability to scout unknown younger players. All right. So with that, we can actually have more variety, because bear in mind, there are a huge number of players possibly leaving Manchester United. So there's a lot of holes to fill in. So with all these, high profile signings and whatnot, at most we can do 2 signings. Then how about the other positions that we really, really need. You talk about the forward positions that we are top heavy, but I think come summer, I think it's going to be thinned down a lot. Having like Cavani leave and potentially Martial also leaving as well as he. So yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, wait.
The only thing I would probably say is, as far as I really know, is there are not many real true number 9s out there that are available. A lot of them are these kind of inverted wingers and things like that. A
false
lot of them are.
9 or what?
Yeah, there's only one that really strikes my head. That's probably Erling Haaland.
But it's not going to happen because Ole is not here. You see, that's
Oh
why. That's
my
why we should.
goodness! See? We should have kept Ole until he signed Haaland.
Ole, right? Okay.
I think there's one guy in Austria, Salzburg. I think the young. He's I think one of the African guys. He's quite a good number 9 from what I saw. But yeah, we will see. I can't remember his name.
There's another player. I think Erling Haaland's cousin or something. Like apparently he's doing better than Erling Haaland. I forgot his name, but I read about it somewhere. But anyway, we got a comment here by Sujay. I think Varane and Lindelof will be the pair for Leeds game. Maguire will be back for the Champions League night. I think so. Possible. Good input. Okay. So any more positives? Doc? I think that's about it, right? Not much going on, right? Positive.
I thought
30
Diego
seconds.
Dalot had a decent game as well. But I think, come on, if you're talking about positives, there's only one, sir. He kept us in the game yet again. I mean, that header from Boda, I think, was destined for the back of the net. Actually, I really thought when he headed it, I thought it was a goal. I really don't know how he got across in
20
so fast
seconds
and claw it away. Yeah, are you keeping time? Yeah, but again, I think that save kept us in the game. In fact, in the first half, he was the more busy keeper, I think. Right? But a lot of half chances and things like that. And to be fair, we were really on the back foot in the first half. Yeah. So he kept us in the game, got us a win, another 3 points. So again, fantastic, probably man of the match performance.
Yeah, banter aside, I think he saved us time and time again. He saved us so I'll just leave it at that. We are not doing the playing ratings, player ratings, guys. So basically, for me personally, he's the man of the match for the game yesterday, and also the couple of games ago. All right,
don't click this. Can you say that
just
again,
a one-time kind of thing. All right, that's all. All right, we got a comment here. We got a comment here by all right, Justin Sean. But I probably we just run through this lah. It should just strike me. Cavani took a knock in training before the game against Southampton, but not available today. Why nobody is talking about this guy who is getting under many fans' nerve? This is one thing about Cavani, all right? When we sign him, we know of his he's injury prone and whatnot. But then again, his passion on the field, and then of course the goals that he scored to save us a couple of times, it actually overshadows that. You see, but then now, he's going to move on in the summer for sure. All right, he's talking about going to La Liga and whatnot. So maybe right now what I feel that Cavani is playing just to keep himself healthy and whatnot for his future projects in the future and whatnot. So it's a bummer and whatnot. But then as much as possible, with whatever time he has, and then with a good coach like Ralph, I hope they find a good balance that they can actually utilize him, maybe not as a starter and whatnot, maybe just to come in and bang in a few goals and whatnot. So because he hasn't been really that good also the couple of games, right? What do you think, Doc?
Yeah, the problem is this season he's not really having the run of games. He has 1 or 2 games and then he's out injured again. Then by the time he comes back, gets back his fitness, he's injured again. And last season, towards the end, where he was scoring, quite freely, was when he had a run of games. In the beginning of the season, also he wasn't really scoring, right? He was coming off the bench and he was injured. And then towards the end, when he stayed fit, he was banging in the goals. Again, to have him fit, whether on the bench or starting, he will give something different. And throughout the game, he will give 110%. That passion,
the passion
chasing every ball and really, look at the first half yesterday. We were hardly pressing. We were hardly, chasing down, closing the areas. And when he plays up front, he will give you that additional bonus. And I think the runs he makes, the positioning, and his finishing is classy. So good guy to have either on the bench or starting.
Okay, speaking about, like you mentioned, the first half, no pressing and whatnot. Okay, let's get into a bit of the negatives yesterday, all right? The first half performance, all right? Some would argue even the second half, if it wasn't for the red card, Brighton playing with 10 men, we could have actually drew the game, or worst case, could have actually lost the game. So, in general, what is actually wrong with our team? In the first half, the whole team seems like they are not pressing. They are like not interested. They are just running alongside the Brighton players. Maybe they string together 2-3 passes. in front of the goal, bang, directly to David De Gea and whatnot. So what do you think about that, Doc? What's the issue
I
there?
think yesterday we started off very poorly actually. In fact, the first until I think that shot by Sancho, and that was also on the counter attack, right, in the 5th minute.
Yes.
And even subsequently, I think the first 10 minutes or so, we looked like the away team. I think Brighton were having about 70% possession. Okay, granted, a lot of it was passing in their own half, right? And there was no pressing at all. They were free to pass the ball around. But every time they pushed the ball forward, they broke through our midfield. And they were actually through on our defense already very easily, actually, Dom. And I was a bit worried. I thought we might go behind the way they were playing. And we normally say we are first half FC, right? Yesterday, the first half FC was missing. Second half FC also, I think, again, we started
Red
well.
card FC. Red card
And then
FC
once the red card came out, but even then, towards
Yeah.
the end, Dom, we struggled to play against 10 men.
Exactly.
Especially when Graham Potter brought on Lamptey on the right.
Yes, exactly.
We were struggling to deal with him.
That's why we actually sub Sancho for Telles to actually cover, right? That was one of the reasons why they actually brought
even
in
then
Telles
we
to
were
cover.
having difficulty.
Yeah,
they had
difficulty
a couple
to cover.
chances, half chances. I think one hit the bar, one came off the
Exactly.
bar, the long range shot. I think Welbeck had one chance. So it was a little bit dicey until we got the second goal, even against 10 men. So we really didn't dominate. I mean, home game, playing against 10 men, we should have really dominated the second half,
Usually we will pinpoint this to the defense and whatnot, but I think the defense didn't really do anything wrong yesterday. Lindelof doing pretty well. Maguire was, better than his usual self. Wingbacks were okay. Dalot actually defensive-wise, I think there's a stat somewhere that I read. He actually performed, I think the most tackles and whatnot. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but the stats are out there somewhere, doing the best tackles and whatnot. So I think they actually performed well. The issue is our midfield for sure, right? Let's talk a bit about midfield. Fred, giving the balls away like nobody's business. Defensive duty, he was literally not doing anything. He was not being physical or anything. He was just running along the Brighton players, like what I was mentioning. Okay, McTominay on the other hand, yes, he's aggressive. He's challenging for the ball and whatnot. But do you think that sometimes he's doing it a bit too much? Like giving unnecessary fouls away and whatnot. And then I think he got yellow carded also, right, yesterday. It's like, this
repetitive fouls.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you think about this? McTominay.
I think also the way we started, right, in the first half, we actually were playing somewhat how we played in the last game when Pogba partnered Bruno, and then with McTominay slightly behind. So it started with a 4-1, 2 and then 3 up front, right? So it was actually McTominay playing slightly defensive mid, Fred and Bruno up front a bit more positive. And then you saw, I think there's one portion where Ralph was saying, 4-2-3-1, go back to 4-2-3-1. Right?
Yes.
So I think because we were under pressure, he moved Fred back again to partner McTominay. But again, yesterday, for me, I think the key battles were lost in midfield. We were not strong enough in midfield. Fred and McTominay kept on losing balls,
Yes.
They were breaking through at ease. Bissouma and all were breaking through at ease. And even I thought the Brighton wingbacks also had a very good game. Now Weltman and the Cucurella, I thought they were really penetrative on both sides, right? They gave our wingbacks a tough time. Although I thought Dalot had a decent game, but for me, I think yesterday the battle was lost in midfield, and something needs to be done about our midfield. The beast McTominay, we are seeing him one game and then missing for about 4-5 games. We really need him to dominate that position.
Again, dominating it doesn't mean being overly aggressive, giving away fouls and collecting yellow cards and whatnot. Because I think eventually one of these days he might just get sent out of the game. So
and not only that, he tends to give away fouls in dangerous areas. And teams that are good on set pieces will punish you. Teams like Burnley and Southampton, with Ward-Prowse on the free kick and all that, they will punish you if you give away free kicks in those kind of areas where they can put the ball into the box with many players inside. So you need to be a bit smart where you need to give away fouls. You want to give away fouls more towards center of the pitch, not near the penalty area. And McTominay probably has to learn that. But apart from that, he really needs to dominate games. What we see that beast McTominay, right? We need him to be performing week in, week out. I think we've said it before as well. He needs to bring that consistency into his game.
Okay, got a comment here by Ayman Hans channel. Fred, McTominay and Maguire out semalam. Maguire okay lah. But Fred and McTominay, I think they were really poor yesterday. Okay, another comment by Jamie Oliver, all right? what is the preferred central midfielder as signing in the summer, Doc?
Everybody knows my first choice lah, but I think they will balk at the price lah. 100 million for Rice. I think Rice is the ideal signing if you ask me lah. Again, there's a question of English talent, very expensive. Whatever he comes with the price tag, but look at how he's performing he's performing week in, week out, right? For a decent West Ham team, and he's really dominating midfield, and not only he's not only a fully defensive mid, Dom. I like the way he actually goes forward, and some of the passes that he puts out to the wingers, or sometimes he puts the through balls. He's very intelligent. For me, he would be my ideal signing. Again, price withstanding lah. I mean, 100 million is a bit too much lah. He's probably, I would say, at most maybe. I mean, not looking at the inflated market as such, right? I would pay
United
for him maybe
tax. United
40
tax,
to
you gotta
50
bear in
million
mind.
at max lah. 40 to 50 million at max, not more than that.
But I
But
think
I doubt, English players, they normally the price is always inflated.
Yeah,
lah.
yeah.
And
And
you're
then
right, especially
the
comes to
United
Glazers
tax.
and United.
And another thing, just to add on, right? I think West Ham wanted Lingard, and then we didn't. In the January window, and then we didn't give them a chance to actually sign Lingard or on loan or whatnot. So I think this will actually backfire. But then again, for me,
Swap deal.
any I don't know. I don't think so lah. But anything with 80 million, 100 million price tag, I'm gonna shy away lah. I learned my lesson as a United fan, right? I really hope the player that actually got away was Zakaria lah. My humble opinion lah. 8 million man, dog. 8 million man. I mean the rest of the money. If we were to actually sign Declan Rice at 80 million, the rest of the money, the 72 million or whatnot, could actually get another 3 more players, to fill up our squad and whatnot. So yeah, that's my take on that. Okay, wait. I got a comment here. Okay, by Eddie. All right, my homie. To sum up, we were lucky to win and keep a clean sheet. I would say more of a individual brilliance by Ronaldo.
No.
I'm just gonna
Hey,
enjoy
I thought you were
that
going to say
game, that
individual
goal.
brilliance of the goalkeeper to keep.
No,
the clean
not
sheet.
so much. That one is like becoming like repetitive. It becomes boring and whatnot. I don't want to talk about it anymore, lah. Yo, please, lah. No more De Gea talk, lah. All right. Okay. So, like you mentioned, right, Doc, just now. Ralph Ragnick signaling to 4-2-3-1. It was caught right on television. 4-2-3-1. Okay. So it seems like do you think that he's like given up on the 4-2-2 or any bombastic type of formations that he want to do, and he's just sticking with the tried, true, and proven type of tactics? As how our players were used to under our previous regime. Do you think
Actually,
that he's
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because from what I see, he's actually trying to play a sort of a 4-3-3 now. I think that 4-2-2-2 is long gone lah. Huh? That one, I think he gave up also. So it looks like we're playing a sort of a 4-3-3 with one defensive mid. And then the last game, I think we had Bruno and Pogba playing in front of McTominay. Here yesterday, we had probably Fred and Bruno playing in front of McTominay again. But I think because we were overrun at the beginning, he tried to change the formation to try and actually, because the midfield there were too many gaps lah. There were too many gaps. Brighton were breaking through at will. So I think he went back to that because the players he had in the pitch, Fred and McTominay, could probably do that role, and that's why he went back to that, probably just to sort of stem the Brighton tide at that point of time now, right? I think he will still, if Pogba plays, he will still play with a 4-3-3 with probably one defensive mid.
Okay, got a comment here by Sujay Kumarasan. Bissouma will be suitable, I think. I think Bissouma was fantastic yesterday. He was breaking down, I think in the first half, breaking down Bruno's play, making Bruno frustrated. Even a couple of times, Ronaldo also, he actually broke down. But let's not talk about the assists he gave to Ronaldo and whatnot. But I think generally, he's one of those, I think, a potential CDM that we could actually look at. But again, we got to look at, his activities out of football. Again, I think this is with our recent experience, I think we should actually take into this consideration. So yeah,
I think not only that, Dom. Sometimes that these players, right, they tend to perform better when they're playing for mid-table teams. Okay, and then when they come to a really big club, they struggle. Sometimes lah. Of course, I'm not saying all players.
Would you argue that Van der Beek is one of those players that when he went
I don't know. I mean, the jury is still out,
man of the match and stuff like that.
The jury is still out. But I saw that performance for Everton the other day. I thought he played very well in a center midfield role that day. But again, it's one game. He's pumped up because it's first game. So we'll probably have to see in a few games how he performs. But I would also think yes, exactly. Tielemans might be a good player to actually
If
fill that
Pogba
role.
leaves, I think if Pogba leaves, I think he will be a fantastic replacement for Pogba. This guy, he's been giving us a lot of trouble every time he plays against us, and I think he's a fantastic player, contributing to my weekly FPL points. So this is one of the better players I'm actually looking forward. But apparently, priced at around 40 million, I think so. I think it's quite reasonable for a Premier League proven type of player. He's been performing, I think, consistently week in, week out, and whatnot. Apart from his injury, I think last month or so, I think he's been doing pretty good lah. Right?
Yeah, and,
Okay.
and he's also like, I think, improved season on season as well. Yuri Tielemans, he's a good player lah. He would be somebody I think we would also consider. 40 million, I think, for him is a very good price actually.
Yes, Talisman is better option than Nasi. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, when it comes to this kind of 80 million, 100 million, Harry Maguire, man. So yeah, we got to learn our lesson. Okay, wait.
Not
Let me see.
everybody is a fridge. Some are just rice, sir.
Okay, wait. Let me see. Okay, we got a comment here. Let me just, because this is pointed out to you lah. Doc, have we seen McTominay dominate week in and week out? If tak pernah, how to expect him to perform week in and week out and whatnot?
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, he has he has dominated some games. I think Dom, you might also agree with me. There's some games he really dominated from midfield, but we need him to be performing this every week, and that is what we're not seeing. So I think a few of us mentioned before, McTominay is one of those guys who have probably improved every season, right? The first season, he was a guy who probably passed side to side, but breaking up play was good. Then he starts improving his passing. He started adding goals to his game. Now I feel the next step up for him would be to actually bring this kind of consistent level of performance every game, or every, say, 3 out of 4 games. Maybe you have one bad game in 4, it's actually okay. But you need to be performing like really in this kind of beast mode every game, driving that midfield.
But Doc, I think, right, the issue is not so much about that, it's how the manager plays him. He's not a CDM. I think when he play a more advanced role, I think the games that he's dominating and whatnot, doing well, the beast, Maxos, whatever you call it, is when he's playing in a more advanced role. I don't think he actually performs best when he's playing a more defensive role. Most of the time, he's bunny hopping, running back slowly, that kind of stuff. Which is true. I think some might not agree, but I don't know. That's my take on McTominay all this while. I mean, a more advanced role, yes, definitely. I think that's the issue with us now. We don't have a proper CDM.
Yeah, you could be right, Tom. But again, it's all up here. You don't have to go into the game thinking I am a defensive mid. I need to stay here. It's how you read the game eventually. I mean, if you look at the previous times, right, when we had Roy Keane was not just a pure defensive mid. He scored goals. He created opportunities. But they know when, and again, it's about building partnerships in midfield, right? When one guy goes forward, the other guy drops back a little bit and things like that. So it's just how you adapt your game. It's not about I'm a defensive mid, I just need to stay down here, I need to side passing. No, it's not like that.
Okay. Smurf mentioned consistency is key and none of our mid is showing this. Okay, comment here by Benson. Could we hope on James Garner playing for Nottingham Forest at the moment? What do you think?
I think the jury is still out. I saw a couple of the I think it was the preseason games when he came on, right? And for me, he really didn't do that much. I think one game he was okay, the others he was very average. But that being said, I think a couple of seasons ago he played in one of the Europa League games, and I thought he really did well, right? He really controlled the midfield, he bossed the midfield, and I looked at him and I said, "Oh, this guy looks good." Okay, and again, playing in your first division and things like that, right? It may not be the exact it may not be exactly what they will get in the Premiership. Premiership is a totally different story altogether. But it may be good to, bring him back, bed him in certain games. Again, once the team is playing well, home games, bring him in for the last 15, 20 minutes, let him get a feel, and then you see, if he starts to perform, why not? I mean, that's why we have a youth program in place that they all prepared for the next step. So if you're given the opportunity, then they need to grab it.
Yeah, but then bear in mind, Doc, he actually played an FA Cup game against Leicester, against Ndidi. I think Ndidi, Talisman, and also Madison. That are not these are not championship level; they are Premiership level. And then he actually bossed and run the midfield. But again, it's yet to be proven. It's just a one-off kind of thing,
Yeah, and
from
remember, Dom, it's a FA Cup game, right? So
Yeah, it's a one-off.
sometimes it's one off and you're pumped up for it, especially when you're a lower division club playing against a Premiership club. You're really pumped up to go out and give your best, right? So and again, then we will see the problem whether they are consistent over time or not again. Right? Yeah.
Okay,
So
we got a comment here. We got a comment here, and it will brings us to the last topic before we close up. All right, hey guys, the way I see the game is that Ralph thing. United need 3 points. My plan is not working, so I said to the players, you go out there and play what you know best, which is Ole's football. In a way, no, I mean it's funny. Yeah, Kunkudo, by the way, is a Scouser, is a Liverpool fan, right? But yeah, I think that somehow there's some truth to that. All right, so because I think that Ralph Rangnick comes in with a very maybe a bit more complicated type of tactics and whatnot, which I think clearly the players either they don't understand or they refuse to accept. Okay, so in a way, right now, right, what is very, very important to us sounds very bad for a Manchester United fan to say this, but we need the top four. We definitely need the top four to see anything, any glimpse of hope or success for the next season. You see, so yeah, in a way, I feel that he actually downtone his tactics and whatnot to make it simple. Okay, which is last week we were talking about like overlapping plays and whatnot. I think those kind of I mean, yeah, it's normal when your team is competent and whatnot, but for with our current squad, being not they are confused or stubborn or whatever it is. When you do something like that, right? Like for example, Harry Maguire just playing a bit higher up the line, defense everything kalang kabut already. They lose their position, their markers and whatnot. So maybe what he's trying to do, in a way, he's trying to simplify the way we are playing just to get the points to get top four. So Doc, what do you think about this? How important is top four for us right now? And then the way that we should play football now. Should we play those beautiful type of football, or you just like, I don't care, just grind and just get the points?
I think top four is the minimum lah. Okay, especially if you're looking to rebuild in the summer, you need Champions League football. Otherwise, you're not going to attract a lot of the best talent as well, right? Whatever is available. So top four is a must. As to whether he's given up and going back to the tactics, I don't think so. I think he's still trying to establish a certain playing performance. So you can see that even yesterday, he only went back to the 4-2-3-1 when we were on the back foot, right? I can't see a real clear style of what he wants to do. So initially we were, we press. I wouldn't say gegen press lah. We tried to press in some games. Some games like yesterday, we just lay back, totally didn't press at all. I think the previous game that we played, I think was it Burnley. Burnley. We were trying to press. But again, the pressing is very, very reactive, Normally,
Yes.
if you press, as a unit, right? When
Yes,
they press,
correct.
they press the guy in the ball. The other guy is left open, and only when the pass is made, then they start to press. So it's very reactive, and it's the wrong pressing style. So again, I don't see, and there's a lot of comments previously that I don't see a clear style with Ole and all. To be honest, I don't see a clear style with Ralph. I'm not blaming him, right? I know he's trying to do something. He's playing around the tactics, but you don't see a clear style. What we don't see is, sometimes pressing, sometimes not. Sometimes they're trying to go to the byline and cross, sometimes they're not. So it's not a consistent kind of pattern as well. Maybe the players as well. I think that probably a lot of the issues also with the players, and we've heard some comments coming out of Old Trafford that they are, not happy with his training methods and things like this. So we don't know what is going in the background, but I think what he's just trying to do is trying to get those 3 points every game now. And it's important because you must remember, although we are in fourth place now, the other teams behind us all have games in hand.
Yes, correct. Okay, you got a comment by Abdullah Irwan. I saved this just now. Harry Maguire, Marcus Rashford, and the English players in Manchester United squad are annoyed that Cristiano Ronaldo wants to lead the dressing room with his own clique. That's a risk of a split. I think there's like too much of this crap going on, man. Whether it's true or not, if it's true, like come on, like guys, be professionals. Just get through the season. If you are unhappy, just leave. Get lost. We don't care, lah. We don't care. The fans are tired of this bullshit coming out week in, week out. This used to be like those kind of the Mirror kind of Daily Mail kind of thing, but now it's like coming out so consistent that I'm so sick and tired of all of these things. Just bet how many more games we have left? 14 games or whatever it is.
I
14
think,
games.
was it 13? 11 or 13?
Yeah, so whatever it is, just hang in there. If you're not happy, just whatever you do, just play fine. Don't jeopardize the team. Get the points. We get top four, then you can get lost. It doesn't matter. The fans are all tired. I think I speak for all the fans. We are all tired, sick and tired of all these things already. All right. Yeah. The Liverpool fan is actually laughing at us. All right. So I'm actually dreading, to play against, teams like City and Liverpool. Okay. So anyway, guys, we are at the end of our show. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. All right. We'll see you guys, I think, this Sunday, is it? Our next game will be on Sunday. So we'll go live immediately after the Leeds game. All right, we'll catch you guys there. So join us. All right, take care. Good night.
All right,
See you
good
guys.
night, guys.